Welcome everybody to the 13th chapter, which is the first chapter in the Charama Shatkam, that is the last Shatkam or the last 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. In this Charama Shatkam, the focus is on Asi Padartham. Asi means one is, basically. Asi is. So, what is the Jivatma is Paramatma in essence. That is what is conveyed. Because the essence of both, even though Paramatma is the entire universe, Jivatma is this puny human being, but the content is the same. The basic content, the rest is all matter. Basic content, important content is the consciousness. In the context of the body, it is Atma. Context of the entire universe, it is Brahman. So it is just like space, inner space, outer space. You can't divide space, it is space. So it is one and the same. So that is Asi Padartham. So this chapter is called Kshetragnya Vibhaga Yoga. That is the differentiation between Kshetra, which refers to the body, and the Kshetragnya, the knower of the body. It is a very important chapter and contains the core of the Upanishads. And as usual, we'd like to acknowledge Swami Paramarthananda Saraswati for the traditional rendering of Vedanta as it was done for over 1,000 years, starting with Adi Shankaracharya. And we'll say a small prayer. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Sadashiva Samarambam Yankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Salutations to the lineage starting with Lord Sadashiva, with Adi Shankaracharya in the middle, and continuing up to our immediate teacher, Swami Paramarthananda Saraswati. With that, we will go to where we left yesterday. So far, what has been covered? There are 6 questions Arjuna asks. So Arjuna asks, and what are the 6 questions that he is asking? Arjuna asks, Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetram Kshetrajna Eva Cha Etat Veditum Ichchami Jnanam Jneyam Cha Keshava. Prakriti, Purusha, Kshetra, Kshetrajna. Kshetrajna means the knower of the Kshetra. Who knows the Kshetra? That is the Atma, the consciousness. And Jnanam and Jneyam. Jnanam is knowledge. Jneyam is what has to be known. So Prakriti is matter. Purusha is consciousness, right? So that is what Arjuna is asking. And so far the topics covered. Bhagavan talked about Kshetram. He introduced both Kshetra and Kshetrajna in 2 to 5, but he has not covered Kshetrajna. It is implicit. We'll see that soon. Kshetram, he's covered. Jnanam, he's covered the 20 virtues that we saw. If you remember the various virtues, then all the amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa kshanti rajavam acharyopasanam chaucham sairyamatma vinigraha indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam. So all that is jnana, means the virtues which when you inculcate makes your mind calm and suitable for receiving knowledge. So it doesn't exactly mean knowledge, but it's virtues that are conducive for acquiring knowledge. And Jnayam is that which is to be known. That's what he's going to cover now. So Jnayam is explained, that which is to be known. Shlokas 13 to 19. This is the essence of the Upanishads. Most important, these 7 shlokas are contain the essence of the Upanishad. Upanishad Saram, that is the essence of the Upanishad. We briefly saw this shloka. We didn't cover it in detail. Neyam yattat pravakshyami yajñatvamritam ashnute anadimat param brahma nasatannasaduchyate. What has to be known? Nyayam, that I will declare, knowing which one attains deathlessness. Amritam Ashnute, Amritam here means deathlessness. Beginningless is the supreme Brahman. This has no beginning. It is neither existent nor non-existent. Sat means existent, real. Non-asat means it's not real, it's not existent. So Shankaracharya clarifies, Atma cannot be cognized. So why does he say it is? See how these kind of terms only you will find in the Upanishad. It is Sat. It is neither existent nor non-existent. Very confusing. What does he mean by that? So that's why Shankaracharya comes to our rescue, and he gives a different interpretation. Atma cannot be cognized. Therefore, one cannot say it is Sat, not Asat, because it exists, but it cannot be cognized. You see that? So you have no proof for the Atma, but you can realize it within yourself. You cannot give material proof, but you have to go deep in to realize that. So it is, one cannot say it is Sat, because you cannot give proof to anybody. And you cannot say it doesn't exist, because you won't be functioning without the consciousness. You are conscious. So the consciousness exists. So you can't say it doesn't exist. And you cannot give proof to somebody to say, oh, it exists. But it still has to be known. And how is that? And another interpretation of Sat and Asat by Shankaracharya is Asat means is not, refers to the cause. This is because Asat means it is in a potential form. It is not available. It is the cause, karanam. Sat refers to the effect, karyam. This is because effect is available, already affected. So Brahman is beyond cause and effect, karma palam and karma. So it is beyond time. So what is time? Time is nothing but, if you look at our life, it is karma and karma palam. That's all it is. It's one in succession. That is time. Time is in succession, but Brahman is beyond time. When after the pralayam, there's no concept of time. So that is, it is beyond cause and effect, beyond karma and karma palam. Sarpata panipadam tat sarvatokshishiro mukham sarvata shruti malloke sarvam avritya tishtati. With hands and feet everywhere, with eyes, heads, and mouths everywhere, with ears everywhere, it remains pervading the entire world. Sarvata panipadam tat. With padam is feet, pani is hands. So sarvata pani padam tat. Sarvata shishiro mukham, with eyes, akshi, shira, mukham. Akshi is eyes, shira's head, mukham is mouth, with eyes, heads, and mouths everywhere. Sarvata shrutimal loke, with ears everywhere. It remains sarvata shrutimat. Loke sarvam avritya tishtati. Avritya means it remains pervading the entire world, the entire universe. So tishtati means it remains, avritya, envelope, or you can say pervading. It remains pervading the entire universe, world or universe. Loke. Brahman is the ultimate. Look at the example he gives. Its eyes, heads, mouth, everywhere. It knows everything. And it listens to everything. It's conscious of everything. It pervades everything. We've seen this example. Brahman is the ultimate substance out of which the whole creation is made. Example is the spider. Brahman is like the spider. Maya, energy or Shakti, is like the web coming from the spider. Right? Both are eternal. Brahman is spider, Maya, the energy is like the web. Both are eternal, but Maya depends on the Brahman. That is the spider web. It won't exist without the spider, right? So this is the example given in the Upanishads. So, and even in the Brahman and Maya together is called Ishvara. We've seen this many times. Even in the Purusha Suktam, so Sahasra, so look at this, Sarvato Shishiro Mukham. So in the Purusha Suktam, it starts by saying, Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad. Sahasra Shirsa, thousands of heads. Sahasraksha, thousands of eyes. Sahasrapad, many feet. So that is how it is. So it's all pervading, all the creatures in the world, they are manifestation of the Brahman. Okay, that's what it means. We saw that in the 11th chapter. Bhagavan is shown with thousands of eyes, thousands of stomachs. So all creation. Brahman. So we saw that Brahman cannot be cognized. So it very clearly says that it is Sat, not Asat. Right? So it cannot be cognized. That is one of the definitions of Atma. In fact, aprameyaha, it cannot be cognized. You saw that in the second chapter. How do we then explain Brahman? In Vedanta, okay, this is a very subtle concept. So please pay attention. Brahman has no attributes or properties. Everybody agrees? Ravi, you agree? Okay.
Yes, Ganesh,
Yes,
yes.
okay. So Brahman has no attributes, properties. So how can you explain Brahman? So in Vedanta, they use a term called upadhi. It's a very confusing term when you describe it in English. In Sanskrit, it's very simple. English, they use the word limiting adjunct. It's adjunct. It's like we say adjunct faculty, not part of the university, but a professor who teaches. They may be working in a private firm, but they teach them. They don't belong to the university, but they're paid. They're not in the main university system. You don't find them, but they are adjunct. It's not part, but they're adjunct, and it's limiting. It's not full. It is, you can't, it's kind of conveys, but it doesn't convey. It's called a upadhi. So the way you do this, when you cannot explain something, you superimpose an object on this attributeless Brahman, and then you remove the object. So that is why hands, legs, feet are used as upadhis for Brahman, because Brahman cannot be described. Brahman becomes the upahitam, that which is described using the upadhis. Now we'll consider some upadhis. A colorless crystal taking the color of the hand. Okay, so the hand, think of the crystal as the Brahman. It has no color. Hand is the upadhi for the crystal. Crystal is the upahitam, that which is described using the upadhi. What do you see? You see the hand press the crystal. Now, slowly you remove the hand, image of the hand. And then you will have this picture of this. There's something there. Okay. When you remove this, there is something that is the crystal. So when you bring the hand, then you will see this. Otherwise, you cannot see the crystal. So that it's difficult to study the crystal unless there's a colored background here. Hand. And when you remove it, you don't see it, but you can say, I know, in that space, because if you put the hand somewhere, you won't see the striation, right? There is something there, but when I remove the hand, there's nothing there. Another example. In space, it looks dark, but there's a lot of light. How do you know that? You think about it. When a satellite goes, you'll see it, all sun will be shining from all the solar panels, everything. You see all the solar panels, sun is shining. Satellite is used to explain the presence of light in the dark space. Satellite is the upadhi for light. Light is like Brahman. It is the upahitam. Space is dark. Even though there is light, you can't see. Now introduce a satellite, there is light. It's shining. What do you see? Light plus satellite. Correct? Now remove the notion of the satellite. Then you know, okay, yes, I know there's light in that. I can't see it, but I know there's light. If I put something there, it'll shine. That's how Brahman is explained in Vedanta using the upadhis. So in shloka 13.14, hands, feet are used as upadhis to illustrate Brahman, the all-pervading consciousness. This is called Adyaropa apavada nyaya. Nyaya is a concept, into logic, introducing and removing an object to illustrate another item. Adyo, Adyaropa apavada nyaya. Introducing the hand is called Adyarupam. Adya, bringing closer. Adi, Rupam is form. Introducing the hand is Adyarupam. After revealing the details of the crystal, right? All this striations you see here, you see all the striations? They are only revealed when you put the hand there. Otherwise, you can't see them. And what do? You remove the hand. It's called apavadam. So when you remove the hand, then you know, so I know this is how it is. I can't see it anymore, but now I can see all those things. I can understand all those striations in the crystal. Okay. In the next shloka, Krishna uses the phrase Sarvendriya Gunabhasam, Sarvendriya Vivarjitam. All the gunas, abhasa is reflected. And but all the sarva indriya means the senses, right? Gunabhasam, all the it's gunas, they get reflected, but Sarvendriya Vivarjitam, it is free of all the gunas. So it the light, it shines on the gunas, and the gunas show up. Guna abhasam, the reflection of the light on the gunas. Vivarjitam, it is free of the gunas. So Swami Chinmayananda, when he was a student of Tapovan Maharaj currently. So one day Tapovan Maharaj said, "You boy, get me water." So, and then Chinmayananda goes, gets, or he tells it to some other person. And this boy goes, takes a glass, fills water, and comes and gives it to Tapovan Maharaj. Tapovan Maharaj shouts, "I just asked for water. Why are you bringing me a glass?" So that at that moment, Chinmayananda understood the concept of Chidabhasa, the reflected consciousness. Okay. Okay. So this 7 shlokas are the core of the Upanishads. Sarpendriya guna basam, sarpendriya vivarchitam, asaktam sarva brichaiva, nirgunam guna bhoktrucha. Guna abhasa. Abhasa has many meanings. It can be chit abhasa, we've seen, a reflection of the chit on the mind. So chit, chitta, why is it called chitta? One is chit iva bhavayati chittam. Chit is a consciousness. But think about it. Fluorescent, ultraviolet light, when it shines on a fluorescent material, it reflects like a purple color, right? That's fluorescence. Like that, the Brahman, the consciousness, that's like the Atma. It's like the ultraviolet light. This material, this is an inert material. That material is the fluorescent material. But when you shine the ultraviolet light, the whole thing glows. It as though it is shining light. So it is called Chit Abhasa. It's a reflection or lustrous resemblance. The Abhasa means reflection, lustrous, resemblance, all this. So it resembles the Chit, but it is the Chitta, the mind. Okay. So manifesting through all the Sarvendriya Guna Abhasa, it's you can hear says manifesting through the functions of all the gunas, all the organs, but Sarvendriya Vivarchitam, all the sense organs. Here guna is the functions of all the organs, manifesting through the functions of all the organs. So abhasa here you can interpret it as manifesting or reflecting through the functions of all organs. Sarvendriya Vivarjitam. Vivarjitam means it is free from all the organs. It is nothing to do with all the organs. In fact, one of the definitions of consciousness It is not a part, property, or product of the body. It has nothing to do with the body. Asaktam sarva britchaiva, and also unattached to anything. Asaktam means it is, asakta means attached. Asakta means unattached to anything, but nirgunam, it is free of the gunas. Guna bhoktra, which means it experiences the gunas, attributes. So it experiences means it when it shines light, it kind of, the whole thing is revealed. When it shines, electricity is going through a light, a light bulb glows, fan rotates. So it illustrates, it experiences the gunas, but it is free of gunas. Electricity is not a bulb, electricity is not a fan, but it experiences. You can electricity reveals or experiences, you can say. Okay. So Brahman is also explained through Nama Rupa, tall man, adjective. Tall is adjective, man is noun. Tall is a property of the object called man. Golden ring, golden is adjective, ring is noun. However, there is only gold. Ring is just a name and form. So gold is like Brahman, Satya. Ring, bangle, chain are Mithya, seemingly real but not real, because you can melt a ring and make it into a bangle. But gold is the Satya. So this is how Brahman is. It cannot explain Brahman fully. It is explained through all these kind of upadhis that we saw, or Brahman is explained through name forms, Nama Rupa. Similar to the golden ring. So this is a very subtle concept. We say the body exists, or the body exists, the existent body. So it's very subtle. So pay attention here. Body is just like the ring. It is just a name and form. So we say the body is, there is a body, right? The only thing that is real is the is. The body is existent because of the is. It's very subtle. The ring can be melted and made into a chain. Body can decay. When you burn it, it becomes carbon dioxide, and it's ash and water. Okay? Only existence is true. Only isness is true. What gives existence is the consciousness. Because of the consciousness, the entire thing manifests. When the consciousness is removed, it just decays. Existence is Satya, body is Mithya. Apparently real but impermanent. So is the only thing. Isness is the only real thing. The isness is what gives sentience to the body. Okay? It's a subtle point. You have to, I think, reflect on that. Continuing. Any questions from anybody? Okay. Bahirantascha bhutanam acharam charam evacha sukshmatva tadabhigneyam dhurastam chanti kechatat. And this Brahman, Bahir Antaha. Bahir means outside, Antaha means inside. Bahir Antascha Bhutanam. It is outside and inside of beings, because Brahman is everywhere, right? And Acharam Charam Evacha. It does not move, and yet it looks as though, so somebody, Ravi has to mute his mic. Okay. Acharam charam evacha. It does not move, and yet it indeed is what moves. Look at this term. It's all of these are very Upanishadic terms. It's very confusing. It does not move, yet it moves. Acharam charam. And the reason is sukshmatvad tat avijnayam. Because it is subtle, it is not known. It is not easy to know. Dhurastam chantike tat. It is far as well as near. Krishna will point out that you'll have to train your mind to understand Brahman. And one of the training suggested is meditating upon space. So we'll see later, we'll see that. Okay, let's look at each of these terms. Bahirantacha, outside and inside. Atma has no boundaries. We saw in the context inside the body, it's inner space. Outside, it is Brahman. Entire universe, it is Brahman. Light, if you have a dark room, you put your hand, shine light. Light is there everywhere, just like the space satellite example. But we can see light only when a hand is placed. Light is there in the space as well as on the hand. It's there in between the fingers, but we only see the light on the fingers. So it is inside and outside. So Vyakta Prakasha means manifested light. Avyakta Prakasha is unmanifested light. So it is consciousness there inside and outside all beings. Then acharam charamevacha, unmoving and yet is what moves. It appears as though when a dancer in a dark room, they shine the light, right? And you can see everything is black behind, and the dancer is moving, and it looks as though the light is moving because there are all these stage lights, dark background, so nothing is seen. And when the dancer moves like this, it looks as though the light is following the dancer, but it is the dancer who is moving and not the light. So it is unmoving. Light is fixed, but yet is what moves. It looks as though it is moving. This is called transfer of property from one to another. Dharma adhyasa. Dharma is nature of property. Transfer from adhyasa is transferring from one to another. The light, it's transferred to the dancer. Durast, finally, durastam chantike chatat. So far and near. So one of Shankaracharya's interpretation is, for a wise person, Brahman is very near because that person knows Brahman is not away from me. Aham Brahmasmi. For an ignorant person, Brahman is very far away because he continues his or her search, going on and on and on. So we've covered everything. And finally, Sukshmatva tada Vigneyam. So why is it very difficult to know Brahman? If Brahman is everywhere, how do I not recognize it? Sukshmatva, due to its subtle nature. So Krishna answers, even though Brahman is everywhere, it is of the subtle nature, which means it is free from attributes. Attributes alone help me recognize things. When an object produces a sound, I recognize through the ears. But Brahman produces no sound, no light, nothing, no smell, no touch. It is just is. So it is so subtle that it's very, very, very difficult to know. It is difficult to know. So in general, lesser the number of attributes, more subtle a thing becomes. Earth, water, can you hold and study water? It's just leaking everywhere, right? It is so difficult to study water, whereas a piece of wood or something, you can hold like this, turn around. Water, can you turn around and look, study in always? No. So look at this. The more attributes, or lesser the number of attributes, more the subtlety. Okay. Earth, Prithvi, it has Sabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Shabda, I'm going to include it as waves, because for wave propagation, you need space. The wave can be an electromagnetic wave or it can be a sound wave, because the catch is space only can transmit waves. Then you may come and ask, so Shabda refers to sound, but we will just interpret it as waves, because then you'll come and say, how can sound travel through space? So I'll just say Shabda, waves including sound. Sparsha is touch. Rupa is form. Rupam. Rasam is taste. Gandha, smell. So earth has all these properties. Sound can travel through a material, or waves can travel through a material. This is longitudinal and transverse waves. Sparsha, when you touch something, you feel it. Rupam, it has matter, has earth refers to any material object, a hard material object. Form, and taste, you can taste. Gandha, it has smell. Water has shabda, sparsha, rupa, and gandha. In its pure form, it has no taste. Okay. And fire has shabda, sparsha, rupa. It doesn't have taste or smell. Air has shabda and sparsha. This is, it's not the fragrance in the air, but it's just, you have this waves can travel through the air, and you can feel the breeze on the body. Space is the most difficult because it has the least number of attributes. Space is very difficult to study. Pure space without air, very difficult to study. People, that's why space is very difficult to understand. Scientists say, is space curved? Is it elastic? How do you define space? Therefore, Krishna says, if you do not understand, it's not your mistake. It is the mistake of Brahman. Why should Brahman be like this? Can't Brahman have jumped in front of us and say, revealed? The problem is with the Brahman. Swamiji says, Sukshma tada vijnayam. It's very difficult to comprehend, but this is what has to be known. Jnayam. This is Jnayam. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktamiva cha sthitam bhuta bhartru cha tajneyam grasishnu prabha vishnu cha. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu, it remains undivided. Vibhaktam iva chastitam, yet seemingly remains divided in beings. Avibhaktam means undivided. Vibhaktam iva chastitam, it remains stitam, it remains seemingly divided in beings. Bhuta bhartruta tatneyam, it is the sustainer of all beings. That neyam, that which has to be known, the Brahman is the sustainer. Bhuta bhartru cha, it is a sustainer. Then Grasishnu. Grasishnu means it's laya karna. It is a devourer. Literally, Grasishnu means swallower, the one which swallows. Grasishnu. Then Prabhavishnu. Prabhavishnu means Srishti Karanam, one which creates. Prabhavaha means Utpatti, creation. Shnu means cause. So cause of all creation. So it's a creator of all being. Shnu, that's what. Grasish. Grasishnu means it's literally one, the cause of all swallowing. So during pralayam, it just swallows everything. Okay. So beautiful terms. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu. We'll look into that. Undivided yet divided. Consciousness is one. It is continuous and present everywhere. However, unless there is a suitable medium, it is not perceived. So you will think that this is a different consciousness. That's what in yoga and Sankhya they believe. This is different consciousness, different Purusha, different. No, but it's one. So that's why they say Vedanta supersedes everything. Vedanta supersedes yoga. It looks as though there are many consciousness, one in each living being, but it's like a light between the fingers. There's only one light. It's because the fingers are separate. You don't see the light without a reflecting medium. Okay. Is it clear so far? Undivided yet divided. Now, more Upanishadic terms. Jyotishamapi jyotihi tamasa paramuchyate jnanam nyeyam jnanagamyam hridi sarpasya vishtitam. That tat jyotisham api jyotihi. So the light of that Brahman is the light of all lights. It is beyond ignorance. Tamasa param uchyate is said to be beyond ignorance. Because ignorance means you don't know, but consciousness by definition is like light. It reveals everything. So wherever consciousness there's no ignorance. Okay, it is beyond ignorance. Jnanam jnayam jnanagamyam. Jnanam, it is knowledge. Knowledge is consciousness. Jnayam, it is the object of knowledge. Jnanagamyam, and the goal of knowledge. Hridi sarvasya vishtitam. Hridayam, it's seated in the heart of all beings. This is a very important portion. Why? Because it says the Brahman, that Jnayam, that Brahman is the same as Atma. So we'll come to one by one. So Jyotisham api Jyotihi. In Vedanta, Jyoti, light reveals everything. It removes darkness. Like that, Brahman reveals everything. Tamasa parastat. So this is from Purusha Suktam. We also seen that in chapter 8. If you remember, Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram Anoraniyam Sam Anusmaredyah Sarvasya Dataramachintya Rupam Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat. So you see, Krishna, left, right, center, he just takes things from the Upanishads. So tamasa param uchyate. So it is beyond ignorance. And why is this verse very important? It clearly states that Brahman, in the form of pure existence, equal to Atma, because it is in the hearts of all. Kriti sarvasya vishtitam. So the same consciousness is Atma. So all these terms are borrowed from the Upanishad. Jyotisham api jyotihi. It is a light of all lights. Even though consciousness is everywhere, you recognize it only in your mind. It is the light of all lights. That is, all the lights refer to the individual consciousness. It is the one that lights up every body. So the reflected consciousnesses are all like the lights, right? And the one that lights up is the Brahman, main light. So the 5 properties of the Atma. We've seen that in the 2nd chapter. So just to remind, aprameyaha, by definition, ameyam means it's directly perceptible. Aprameyam, it cannot be comprehended. Avinashi, vinashi is destroyed, that which can be destroyed. Avinashi means it's eternal or cannot be destroyed. Sarvagataha, it is all pervading. Nirvikaraha, vikaram means change. Nirvikara means changeless. Akarta and abhokta, it's a non-doer of actions and it's not affected by the results of actions. Electricity just does its job. It is how the gunas, like how the coils are wound, that a fan rotates or a light bulb glows, like that. And what is the relationship of the Atma to the body? Atma, or the consciousness, is not a product, part, or property of the body. Very important. These 5 properties, very, very, very important. So we've seen the Atma, the properties, and how it is related to the body. Consciousness, it is an independent entity which pervades and enlivens the body. It is not limited by the boundaries of the body. Consciousness survives even after the fall of the body. The surviving consciousness is not accessible to us, not because it is absent, but because there's no medium for manifestation, just like the light in space. Is it clear to everybody? So very, very important. So these properties And the relationship to the body, Swamiji always quotes this relationship. Surviving consciousness is not accessible not because it is absent, because there's no medium. You need the sukshma shariram, the mind, and everything to reflect. Once the body is dead, the sukshma shariram is gone. The consciousness is not reflected. There is still consciousness in the body, but the reflecting medium is gone. Do you understand? That is death. It survives after the fall of the body. It is not limited by the boundaries of the body. So the light of all lights, it's mentioned in the Mundaka Upanishad. So says, Hiranmaye pare koshe virajam brahma nishkalam tachubram jyotisham jyotihi adhyatma vido viduhu tadastyatma vido viduhu. The stainless, indivisible Brahman, the pure, the light of all lights, is in the innermost sheath of golden hue. That is what the knowers of Atman know. So in Vedanta, Jyoti or light is that in whose presence things are known. So Jyotisham api Jyoti, Krishna borrows the Upanishad expressions throughout, because whenever the topic of Brahman comes, one has to go to the Upanishads. Everybody has to eventually come to the Upanishads. This is the Mundaka Upanishad. In the Upanishad, it says ultimate light is nothing but the consciousness, because in the presence of consciousness alone, everything is known. And if consciousness is not there, an inert thing cannot know anything. Okay. So now we come to the last shloka in this portion, 13 through 19. Iti kshetram tata jnanam jneyam choktam samasatah madbhakta etad vijñāya madhva vayopapadyate. Thus the kshetram, so too the jnanam and jneyam has been told to you in brief. So Bhagavan says he has told three things, and the kshetrajna is kind of implicitly told. My devotee, having known this, is fit to attain my nature. Mad bhaktaha etat vijñāya madbhavayo upapadyate. So, and what is Bhagavan saying? Is samasataha. He's told it only in brief. It's a huge topic. He's told that in 7 verses. He's told that, and to know that, what is the condition? Mat bhaktaha. One has to be my devotee. It means Ishvara bhaktaha. Now you're talking about all these technical terms, and you're saying bhakti. Bhakti means devotion, and you're talking about technical terms. So there's confusion. There's knowledge and bhakti. But we've seen the highest form of bhakta is the jnani bhakta. Bhagavan says that to know the Brahman, one has to be a bhakta. Otherwise, it's just academic knowledge. It's already mentioned in 13.10. Nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu maichan anya yogena bhaktir avyabhicharini. Unswerving yoga, you have to have bhakti. And in the last chapter, he says, Idam tena tapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana nachu na nacha shushra nacha shushrusave vacham nacha mam yopya suyati. This should not be told to one without tapas, austerity, not one without bhakti. The Bhagavad Gita should not be told to one without austerity or bhakti, and not to one who um, talks ill about God. Okay, so bhakti here is awe of the understanding that Brahman is me, Tat Tvam Asi. So bhakti, the devotion, is the awe of understanding that Brahman is me, Tat Tvam Asi. That is bhakti. Okay. So Bhagavan summarizes what has been covered so far. He said, I've covered Kshetram, your field, Jnanam, the 20 virtues, Nyayam from 13 through 19, then Chetagnya, the knower of all the Kshetras or the Brahman, is implicitly covered under Nyayam. Why is it implicitly covered? Because Kshetrajna is, Bhagavan says, it is manifesting through all the functions of all the organs. It is free from all the organs. It is unattached to everything, but it experiences the gunas and is free of the gunas. When you look at the consciousness from the standpoint of the individual consciousness in the body, we call it Kshetrajna, the Jivatma. From the microcosmic standpoint, same consciousness. From the macrocosm, we call it the Brahman, the Nyayam. So there are two more topics left. It is the Purusha and the Prakriti topic. Purusha and Prakriti. Now, these terms, for those who study yoga, like Patya, they may be very familiar. Yoga Sutras, that's how it is as Purusha and Prakriti. Okay? Or Drashta and Drishyam, the seer and what is seen. Okay. So, Bhagavan talks about Purusha and Prakriti. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidyanadhi Ubhavapi Vikaranshcha Gunanshchaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. Know that both Prakriti and Purusha, Vidhi, Anadi, they're known to be beginningless. Anadi means without a beginning. Ubhavapi, they're both are beginningless. Vikranscha Gunanschaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. So know them that all the modifications and gunas are Prakriti Sambhavan, are born of Prakriti, not of consciousness. Vikaram means modification. We say avikara means unmodified. Vikaran means modifications. The body changes, and gunanschavi, and the qualities are born from Prakriti, not Purusha. Purusha and Prakriti, common features. They are both beginningless. Both together they created the universe. Ishvara is Purusha plus Prakriti. Ishvara is Brahman plus Maya. They are the same. Purusha is Brahman. Prakriti, in the unmanifested form, it's called Maya. When it's manifested, it becomes a material universe. Okay, they are similar terms. Okay, what are the, now we saw the similarities, the common features. Both are beginningless, both created the universe. What are the differences? Nature. Purusha is Chetana Tattvam, it is pure consciousness. Prakriti is Achetana Tattvam, it is matter or energy. And change, the quality of change. Nirvikara Tattvam, Purusha is changeless nature. Prakriti is Savikara Tattvam, changing nature. Body is constantly changing. Consciousness doesn't change at all. Guna, properties. Nirguna Tattvam, it is attributeless. Whereas body has so many attributes, color, that, this. Saguna Tattvam and independence. It is Satya Tattvam, it's Satyam, it's independent and real. Whereas Prakriti is changing. Because it's changing, it's like this once and different another time. It can disappear, matter, it can get resolved into Maya. It is Mithya Tattvam. It is seemingly real, but it is dependent on the consciousness. Okay. These are the four differences. And the evolution of the universe, Karana Tattvam, that is the seed, Sukshma Tattvam, that sapling, and then Stula Tattvam, like a big tree. Sapling is difficult to see, but a tree, big, it's Stulam. So Karana Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, and Stula Shariram, right? like that, the principles. So entire, for the body, we'll say Karana Shariram. We saw that, right? The three bodies. Sukshma Shariram, Stula Shariram. Stula Shariram is the gross body. Sukshma Shariram consists of 17 attributes or 19. The Pancha Prana, Pancha Karmendriya, Pancha Jnanendriya. Karmendriya are the walk, speech, hands, the organs of excretion, organs of reproduction, and then Jnanendriya, the 5 organs of senses. Then the Mano and Buddhi. You can include Chitta and Ahankara too. So it's 17 or 19. Then that's the Sukshma Shariram. Stula Shariram is the body. Then and the organs. Karana Shariram is it is ignorance. It's when everything pralayam happens, the entire, it goes back into seed form. That is the Karana Shariram. Okay. So even the evolution, universe is like that. The Tattvam, same thing that applies to the body, it applies to the universe too. Universe has a macro mind, just like the body, all that. Okay, we saw that. I think I should stop here. Yeah, there's a lot of things we have to cover in 21.